The big lie behind the Supreme Court and its role. The role of the Supreme Court is to ensure that the government and everyone connected to it act according to the Constitution. When the Supreme Judges wait for you to bring something that is against the Constitution to them and do not act until it reaches them, says that money is more important than the Constitution. Because until you pay everything needed to reach them, the Constitution is not important, and if you don't have the possibility to pay it, then you don't deserve to live under the Constitution. They also say that it is okay that until it reaches them, the government, courts, etc. can betray the Constitution. Another lie is that they are there to interpret the Constitution. You cannot swear to preserve and protect something that you have to interpret. It's like defending the president and interpreting that in your opinion letting him walk on his own 2 feet is dangerous and therefore you will tie him to a wheelchair. Or letting him use a knife and fork is dangerous, so you will feed him, forcefully if necessary. The only time the Supreme Judges should interpret the Constitution is for something that does not appear in the Constitution. And when a judge of the Supreme Court shows that he doesn't know the Constitution, he should be thrown out of the Supreme Court, but nowadays you can't get him out of there even if he is in a vegetative state. One of the worst things is when the Supreme Court says it will not give its opinion. It means that their political connections or their fear is higher than the Constitution. How many times have you seen that after months and years something came to the Supreme Court and it was declared illegal? This means that the Supreme Court judges sat quietly and allowed something that is against the Constitution to stand. This is a betrayal of their oath to the Constitution. I do solemnly swear, or affirm, that I will administer justice without respect to persons, and do equal right to the poor and to the rich, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as under the Constitution and laws of the United States. So help me God. Have you ever heard of the Supreme Court punishing someone in the government, courts, police, etc. who acted against the Constitution? This is why everyone knows they can act against the Constitution. Because even if in the end the judges of the Supreme Court decide that he acted against the Constitution, nothing will happen to him. The judges of the Supreme Court have made the Supreme Court and the Constitution a joke. Because they know that no one can fire them and they will never pay the price for what they did, are doing, and will do. Ask yourself, if everyone can do what they want without paying a price, why do we have the Supreme Court?